Five, four, three. Hey. Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Welcome, my guest. It's Melinda Guitierrez. Lovely girl. Lovely woman. We're going to definitely talk. Today's going to be, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about whatever myself and my guests want to talk about. And it may lead to something new, something old, but we're going to talk to you guys. And so just stay tuned and feel free if you want to kind of share a comment, share a question, or ask a question rather for myself or the guests. Please do that and share this live feed. Melinda, please share this live feed on your page.
Of
Either
course.
go on my page and that way we get a broader audience. So, all right, let's see here. All right. So, let me see here. What is a Marine like you doing nowadays? What are you doing now?
Well, the fun part is I'm retired now.
Okay.
Um, so I'm living the retired life. It's different. Not everybody at my age is retired, so I have a lot of friends that are seniors, because they have
Mhm.
the same schedule as I do. So
That's
it's super
good.
fun. It's super
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it is. It is. You know, I, I I'm semi-retired. Do about 35 hours a week. Driving my little bus, my school bus, with my friends, my monitor, my students. I love it. And
That's awesome.
it's yeah, it's and then at the end of the month, I get my pension check, which
Right?
pays the
You just
bills.
you just look in the mailbox and it's there.
Yeah, yep,
All that hard work, you can see it in the mailbox. You're like, yeah,
that's it.
okay,
That's right. It's taking care of me, taking care of the family, which is good.
right.
Um,
That's what it's
so,
about. It's just living life, after various deployments and stuff, being active duty. Um, it's so nice to not have to tell my children, well, mommy or daddy has got to go for 6 to 9 months. We don't know where. That's super tough. And I'm so thankful that I did get those experiences, being deployed and fighting for our country and things like that. But I'm also really happy that it's over and I don't have to tell my kids, well, I'll see you later.
mhm,
So that, it's kind of like a bittersweet thing.
that's good. That's good. You know, doing your and first of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for many years of service, and I really appreciate it. Thankful. I salute all veterans. Um, and second to that, your mom doing your thing, raising your family, and
Yeah.
I want to thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much for that too, because um, you'll be surprised. Not a lot of people are very thankful for that. So it feels good hearing that coming from you, and I know it's genuine. So thank you for the support, because without anybody's support, not just myself, but my husband as well, we wouldn't be able to do that without support. So that
So
means a lot too.
so true, so true.
Hmm.
The and and you got to have that good support within the home and outside the home. It's very crucial, especially the things that you have to put up with. Um, Not just on a mission, but just with the people that you're actually with, and doing your tour, doing that's stressful in itself. And so, but we're gonna. So you end up going to boot camp, joining the
Hmm.
Marines. Well, actually, what made you join the Marine Corps?
Um, I was 13 and I went through, I don't know if anybody has heard of it. Um, but I was a rambunctious teenager, and I got into the youth ranch through the Barnstable County Sheriff's department. And I was like, youth ranch, okay. So I got assigned to the youth ranch, um, kind of like unwillingly, but willingly at the same time. And Officer DiCarlo was him and uh, uh, I can't remember his name. There was another one too. I know Brian Morrison is part of it still, Officer Brian Morrison. Um, it was really Officer DiCarlo he was so stern. And I was like, man, that's so cool. And he was very disciplined. He had um, just like all the characteristics that I wasn't exposed to at such an early age. Um, so I asked him, I was like, well, what do you do? And at that time, he was a correctional officer.
Yeah.
So he was telling me, about a correctional officer. And I was interested in that. And then I asked him, I said, well, how old do you have to be? It was like 18 at the time or something. And I was like, man, I gotta get out of here fast. So, so I went to, after I completed the program, I went to, what is that place called? Oh, the recruiter station. And
Hmm.
the first time I went for the Air Force because my dad, Sebastian Pina,
Yep.
was he was telling me, he's like, baby girl, I want you to do something, but I want you to get an education. So I said,
True.
okay, well, I'm gonna try the Air Force National Guard. So I went, and they were never there. Like I would knock on the door, I would leave notes and stuff. They were never there. So about the fourth time I went back, because they were off of West Main Street in Hyannis, in the federal building there. I think they moved now, but I went
Hmm.
back. I went back, and the Navy guy was there, but he looked awful in his uniform. Like he looked like this. I don't know. His uniform didn't fit right, and I was just like, I don't
Hmm.
want that. So down the hallway was the Marine recruiter, and he had
Hmm.
on his dress blues, and that
Yep.
sold me. I was like, I want those blues right there.
Yeah.
So
It's def.
I went for it. I went for it. I did get pushback from the family
Yep.
because they were concerned. I was Nana and Grandpa's baby.
Hmm.
Sebastian and Doris Pina. I was Nana and Grandpa's baby, and Grandpa was not having it. He wanted me to be in the army,
Hmm.
and so like going back and forth. Grandpa finally was just like, you know what, whatever you do, I support you. So
Hmm.
I went in, and lo and behold, like when I came home, Nana and Grandpa were there. They were like, so my mom, everybody was just like, I think they were more so surprised that I made it.
Hmm.
Because Marines is not easy. It's really not. It's it's tough. Both
Yeah.
physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's tough all the way around. Not saying the other branches aren't, but the Marines are a different breed. We're a
Hmm.
different breed.
Yeah.
So I'm just really glad that I stuck with it and kept going through. That's like the biggest thing that I could ever say to anybody. If it's your passion and you want to do it, stick with it, even though there's going to be times where you're going to sit there and tell yourself, why did I do this? Why did I
Hmm.
sign up? Um, what is my purpose? You always go back to your initial um, push, and you
Hmm.
rekindle that and then keep going.
So you say this kind of your first time going back home, and so you meet family, you meet friends, and
Mm,
one of the first things they say is, "Wow, you changed,"
yes,
and so and that's only that's only within a few months sometimes.
right,
Being
right.
under the guidance tutelage of the Marine Corps, um, and 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 then all of a sudden this things, the way you talk, the way your speech, the way you act, um, and just amazing what the service can do for you. And in your case, it's the Marine Corps. So Now, I was like probably, let me see, 40, about 72 hours from joining the army. And then
Mhm.
the police department called me for a position there, and then I took it. But I was going to the army just because I wanted to establish myself and have something, career based, because that's what I was going to do. It was definitely going to be a career for me. And when the
Mhm.
police department called me, that was, I said, wow, that's equal to it. I'll stay home, and I did. So, but there's so many of our family members that served in probably every war since World War I.
Mhm.
And so you keep on that tradition. You definitely you know come out with flying colors just because you're still here. You're still doing it. You went through all that you went through, and you're
Mhm.
here with a
Yes.
family.
Thank
Yep.
God. Thank God.
Yes. Hmm.
There's been some close calls.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thank God every day. Every day.
So during your life, you had some experiences, and you went through cancer, and your hair wasn't as long as it is now.
Oh
And
man. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was interesting. That
so
was an
and
interesting time.
so being a survivor, how do you what could you do to inspire people that may be going through it now? What would you tell them? And just going through those experiences.
Um,
Initially.
I would definitely say um what inspired me to continue going through wasn't just my family and stuff, it was in myself. Like
Yeah.
I really had to dig down deep, like so deep that I've never done that before. But I literally had to tell myself, am I gonna beat this or I'm gonna let this beat me? Um, so when I got the diagnosis, um, my husband wasn't with me. He was actually training in California. So I was by myself. I had Maya and McGill, they were with my mother-in-law, um, because my command wasn't supportive of a single parent. So it was just easier to send them to their grandma's house. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I got the diagnosis and I flipped out. I cursed quite a bit. I threw some dishes. I was just like, what? And then um, I bought two dogs. Why? I don't know. I did that. I just went way left. But then I like really sat down and was like, you know what? Cancer doesn't mean always death. Like it doesn't always mean the end sentence. And I was just sitting there and telling myself that every day. Every day was like, you know what? I made it another day. I made it another day. Um, and I had to learn how to accept help because I was so independent. I didn't like people doing things for me, like as far as helping me get dressed, because I had a double mastectomy. So,
Hmm.
a lot of physical changes happened, and it was a lot to process. And
Yeah.
I really had to sit down and was like, well, if I push everybody away, I can't do this by myself. It's not a one person fight. It's like a whole community kind of thing. And I say community because I have people who I consider family members that aren't, um, uh, blood related. So I just say
Hmm.
community.
Yeah.
But they are my family. They are my family. And so telling myself I made it, I made it, I made it was an everyday thing. It was always
Mm.
some kind of, I wrote a lot of inspirational quotes to myself and I would stick them on the mirror. Because, like, when you go to brush your teeth and you wake up and you have no hair, it's a
Hmm.
whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. So I had to learn that my physical being doesn't define who I am. I'm
So true.
still that fun loving, short tempered, you know, peanut blood, just still that person. I haven't changed. It was just, my physical appearance altered a little bit. And then now, fast forward, um, my hair grew back like thicker and more and longer than what it was. Um, so it was like, I look at it like this, like if you lose something and you accept that and you trust in the Lord and stuff, you get that back in tenfold.
Yes.
So that's, and I've witnessed that. So it's just like, okay. So
Good.
really, at the end of the day, is just positive mental mindset.
I love it.
It's,
I love it.
it's where
That's
it's at.
very inspirational, and you know, I know you, I think I know enough of you that you're gonna continue to be an inspiration for people that are going through what you've been through, and continue to be that, because
Yeah,
sometimes it goes a long way. Just a few
it
words
does.
that you may. Yeah. So
It
the
truly does. And not to cut you off, but I do got to say this though. I had my hard days though. I had some really hard days. Like I wanted to give up. I wanted to be like, you know what? Not today. I'm not having it today. Like I wanted to give up. And I remember going through chemo, and I think it was like my third round of chemo, and I got super sick. And my husband was taking care of me, the kids and everything, and I was just like, just let me go. So it's just like those days those days do happen. I'm not saying
hmm
they don't. I'm not saying I flew through it with flying colors, because I did not. Um, but you just got to make it look good when you do it.
yeah, and I mean, just you know, it's the most trying thing that you probably go through in your whole life, is just going through all those treatments, and your body is going through it. So
Hmm.
it's your inner and outside. You're just going through so much that
Right.
and it may trigger those moments where you say, "Look, I just want it to be the end," and so physically, mentally, it's just a huge drain on, and there's nothing else
Oh, it
in life
is.
yeah, there's nothing else in life that
Hmm.
could could even be equivalent to that experience. So I'm glad you're here once again. I'm glad you're here. So
Well, thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
because don't forget, I don't know if you guys remember, um, my daughter was going through cancer too. So
Oh,
at the same time, so we were battling together. She had a glioblastoma, which is cancer in her brain in the frontal left lobe. So
wow.
that was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I was more worried about her than me. Um,
hmm
I was so I didn't feel as much, I guess, because I put myself on the back burner. It was basically about her and going to all her treatments and stuff. But at the end of the day, like that diagnosis, um, we were beating it. We were beating it. We went through natural holistic medicine, and unfortunately, being active duty, there's certain things you can't get. So,
hmm
um, you know, she did pass on, but it's not. How do I say this? It's a blessing in itself anyway,
Yeah.
because I don't get me wrong, I still wish that she was here every day. Um,
Yes.
you know, but at the end of the day, I've learned that um, she's in a far better place than what I could even give her here. Um, so that's what keeps me going too, because that that to me is important.
So that's true, and you just keep living your life, and
Right. You got to
You
live
know,
your best life.
because it's and spiritual people, Christian people are gonna, like yourself and myself. You gotta understand that your daughter's looking at you and she say, "Look at
Of
mommy.
course.
Mommy's so beautiful. I can't look at
Right.
her. Oh my God, mommy, I'm here for you. I'm here with you. Just know it that I'm here for you." And
Right.
so,
I
so
think the best inspiration I can give to anybody who is suffering a loss, whether it's of a person or of a job because of COVID, or I don't know, some kind of ailment or whatever, is that it's okay to let go. Because if you hold on to stuff, like if I constantly hold on to everything that has happened to me, whether it's been through active duty, my personal life, um, a failed marriage before, if I held on to all of that, I wouldn't be able to be sitting here because it will bring you down. So it's okay to let go. It doesn't mean that you forget anything or anybody, or it doesn't mean that you, how do I say it, like disregard anything, because that's not the
yeah,
case. It's just accepting it, and then you can move forward. I don't like to say moving on because it's kind of negative. Moving
yeah,
forward, you're taking that person or you're taking whatever that loss is with you, but it's not such a heavy baggage.
true, so true.
So yeah, yeah.
And the nowadays, what keeps you busy now? What keeps you busy? Business,
Well,
pleasure.
we're expecting. I'm
Oh
six
my
months.
God, look
So
at
yes,
that.
yes.
Oh man.
So that
See, I
keeps us
didn't know that.
busy.
You
Yeah.
keep you keep secrets, huh? Don't you?
It was more of a surprise. Um, it was super fun. Um, so that keeps me busy right now. Our boys are very active. Excuse me. We were outside today, so it's family.
That's
Really,
nice.
that's what keeps me
Yeah.
going is family. My
So do you know
mother-in-law,
that?
she's awesome. So we come over, we hang out, we eat some really good food. So
That's
so
it.
it's just
Some
love.
good,
It's just family and love and good food.
awesome. Do you know the gender? Do you want to know the gender?
We know we're having a little girl. Um,
Okay.
so that's super. We're so excited. We're
All
so
right.
excited. Yeah.
So are you gonna name her Charlie?
You know what? And I'm laughing because I thought about that, and then because we were going through the name book, and I was like trying to find out everybody that I know who had, a name like that I know the name of, and because Baby T, we call him Baby T, but his name is Theo Sebastian. So
Mm-hmm.
we used his dad's name and
Yep.
my dad and grandpa's name as their middle
Yep.
name. So I was like, oh man. And then this baby would have too many names. So
Mm-hmm.
so we're still trying to figure it out. But we'll
Yeah.
definitely
Your
let you know.
your grandfather was he's unbelievable to me. He being out in the Cape, he was still inspirational to me,
Yeah.
back home in New Bedford. And the one thing, I mean, he this one time he see me in uniform and he loved it. He was all excited and I'm like, why is he excited about me in my little uniform? Because he was always the most sharp dressed veteran, no matter
Right,
what. I
exactly.
mean,
Everywhere, everywhere,
every
even at the grocery store,
yeah.
everywhere,
So, but
everywhere.
I mean, does anyone have any video of him? That's I've never asked that, and but
Yeah, that would
video
be awesome.
that would.
So we can
I'm gonna
show the newer
yeah,
generation and the children on just
yeah,
like, um, because Grandpa was one of a kind. Like,
yeah.
I was
Mm-hmm.
grandpa's. I attached to grandpa. And especially when I came home from the military for the first time, and I brought him my photo. A few choice words. He was like, "Get that out of here," because And then I gave him a keychain, and he had that keychain forever. And
Mm-hmm.
it was funny because he said, "Now when do I get to see you in uniform?" That's why I was chuckling when you said about the uniform,
Mm-hmm.
because Grandpa, I don't know. It seemed like he had like a twinkle, an extra twinkle, when he saw his family wearing a uniform, and
Yeah.
he was just, it was just he was just awesome. And I would always call
Yeah.
him from wherever I was stationed. I called him from the back of a back of a military vehicle one time, and he's like, "Yeah, who's this?" I said, "Grandpa, it's Melinda, your granddaughter." He's like, "Who?"
Uh-huh.
I said, "Grandpa, it's me." He's like, "Oh yeah, 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 I'm here, I'm here."
I
I'll
love it.
never
I
forget
love it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The so right now our country's going through so much, and
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
community and police, and it's going through. We're going through so much, and it's every time, every situation. I kind of look at it, and I'm saying, what would I have done if I was there? Um, and hindsight is, you're not there, so you're not going through the emotions, the experience, and all
Right,
that. But
right.
but I always try to say I would have did this differently, that differently, and I just hope that the country in a whole gets a hold of all this stuff, because there's so many mistakes being made,
Yeah.
and it's only going to hurt us as a country, and uh, I just hope those things get straightened out soon. So
Well, in
yeah,
my opinion, I feel like, like how you hit the nail on the head. Like we can always say what would we do if we were in that situation, and the fact is that we weren't in the situation. So of course you're gonna have a clearer picture of the scenario. You're gonna have, more of a clearer mind, because I mean, you and I both know, like, things get pretty intense sometimes, and I'm not excusing anybody's behavior at that. I just want to make that very clear.
yeah,
Um, but if we're gonna combat things, we need to come together lovingly. Like, it doesn't matter, in my opinion. Um, I don't think that politics should define who somebody is, or whether they're uh, of a police force or not a police force, or the military or not military. If you just genuinely love somebody like the way you would want to be loved, I think a lot of things could de-escalate. Um, because I mean, being in the South, it's um, how do I say this? Being in the South is tough. Um, because my kids are biracial. My husband and I do have an interracial relationship. Um, so now it used to bother me. I used to get I used to get looks and stuff, and one lady cursed me out because I didn't have enough color. Another lady yelled at me because I didn't speak enough Spanish. It was crazy because I'm
yeah,
mixed myself. So um my pastor and I were talking about it, and I was just like, I'm just gonna love people, even when you know they're nasty, or whatever. Just love people, because
yeah,
at the end of the day, you still have to answer to the man upstairs.
yeah.
So,
And
so it's not my
if you,
place to sit there and judge somebody. Um, but also, I'm not gonna stand by and witness something and not say anything either.
yeah, they were.
So it's just really tough nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just really tough.
Let's see. We got a Charlie. Who is this lady? She's a great speaker, smart. God bless her. Reggie Victor. This is Melinda Guitierrez. a Marine, kick-ass Marine. Excuse my language, but she's a Marine, cancer survivor, um, an expecting mom. She's doing her thing, Reggie, and I'm glad you asked that question. And
Yes,
she
thank
is,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
So
you. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So
that's
I forgot. After I got out of the military, I kind of went a little crazy. Um, because I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do
hmm
with myself. So I got a job and I worked for the NBA. I worked down at the Spectrum Center for the Charlotte Hornets, and that was super fun. That was
hmm
super fun. Meeting all kinds of celebrities and NBA players, various NFL players that would come watch, and that was super cool too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I I love Charlotte. Um, I hear so many things about that city, and
Yes, you
you
gotta
know,
come visit.
yeah, I
When
will.
times are great, you gotta come visit. We'll show you around. I'll show you all the good food
Yeah,
places.
I went out. That's it. As you see, my 6 pack abs are no longer here anymore. So I love eating.
They're in there. They're in there.
Yeah, they're in
They're
there. I
in
gotta
there.
find them.
They're in
My
there.
knee.
That's okay.
Yeah, me and the wife take a road trip, and especially since we have multiple family connections. Well, we have a lot of family down there, so going down there would be a skip and a hop. The my cousins Shamir and Sharif were at they were on the 82nd Airborne in Fort Bragg. So
Mm,
and
okay.
I always said I would go down there and go see them, and they're both out now, but I never made it to down there. But I wanted to. I wanted to go down there and see them
Right.
guys. So, but yeah, we'll take a
We gotta
road
make
trip.
it happen. We
I
gotta
heard the
make it
barbecue.
happen.
Heard the barbecue is real good.
Oh yes.
Yes. So, let's see.
That's
Reggie
awesome.
says I've been through what she's been through before she was married to a white lady. I got followed and stared at. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
biracial
You know
marriage
why?
is.
Because you have haters. And you know what we say to haters? Hi hater. Hi hater. You see me? Hi hater.
Yeah,
Just live
exactly.
life.
Yeah. Yeah, so true. Um, yeah, Reggie knows that experience pretty well.
It's
Mr.
not
Gomes,
fun.
no, it isn't.
But
It isn't.
you know what? You can't you there's nothing if you love somebody, that's it. There's love. Like nothing can pierce that.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Love will protect you. Love
Right.
will uh, love will protect you no matter what comes your
I
way.
always
And
I always like to say that when people like are shortcoming in a kind of way of saying it is that you're missing out. You're missing out on somebody who is a phenomenal human being, all because
mhm,
you want to put limitations on things.
so
So
true.
you missing out, not me.
Yes. The let's see. Um, while we were off the air, we talked about David Pina. Definitely a good mentor for me. It's always
Yes,
been there for me. Still there for me. Um, but he's amazing. He
he
don't
is.
give up. He's
No.
still playing softball. Well, he's got to
Yeah.
fix that little injury he has. But imagine what 70 years old. He's still playing
Mhm.
softball at a very high level. Um,
Mhm.
Still winning tournaments. Actually, I'm surprised. He's been down that way. I'm surprised he hasn't gone and maybe visit you or tell you and the family to meet him somewhere because he's all over the East Coast. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, amazing.
We'll link up one day. I know that
Yeah,
for a fact because he ever since my dad passed away, he's been very uh supportive. Like he's always checked in on me. And of course, I mean, it's easier for him to check on, my mom and my sister and stuff up there because they're closer. But
Yeah.
he definitely makes it a point to reach out and to see how I'm doing and stuff like that. And then when Tamika passed away, my sister, um, he definitely reaches out. So um, unfortunately, the Peanut family was hit pretty hard, um, but we're strong. We're strong.
Yes.
We're tight. When you see one, you normally another one's not too far away.
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
So
It's
it's pretty cool. It's how do I say this? It's just comforting to know that, granted, I don't have family like in my backyard, so to speak, but I do have family I can reach out to and say, "Hey, how are you today?" Um,
so
and that's it.
yeah, and there's no matter what experience you go through, there's always someone on your family tree that went through it. There's always
Right,
someone that family tree that can kind of guide you or just talk about it. And so when sometimes we don't reach out to each other, and for whatever reason, pride, stubborn pride, whatever it may be.
right, or just life
And
in general.
yeah, and so but you just keep being you. Very proud.
So
Um
thank you.
what you have told me, some things I was unaware of, and shame on me, but
It's all
yeah.
right. It's okay because you know why? You know why? We're doing this now. And you know what I mean? We're doing this now. I do remember seeing you when I was a little girl in your uniform and stuff like that. I do
Mm,
remember things. So it's like, I just feel very thankful and blessed that, nobody really turned their nose up at me
no.
when I was trying to find my way through life. So I think that is really important, especially now with the new generation coming along. We need to do that still.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm totally on board with you because it's important. It's important that our kids know our ancestors and that we know where we come from, and we shouldn't be ashamed of that.
So
So
true. The And keep a journal.
yes,
Keep a journal. In my case, I just write. I do a lot of poetry.
I
And
printed out some of your pieces. I printed out some
yeah,
of your pieces and I framed them.
thank you. That means a
You're
lot.
welcome.
That really does. Feel free. You send me a picture of anything. Say, hey, Charlie, write about this. Um, and see in the back it says a poetic pouch. That's me. I can write at any time, any moment, um, and feel free. But you should
Oh
write a
yes.
book, and you should write a book yourself. That story is that's unbelievable. You know, and if you keep a journal, guess what? All your facts are going to be right in that journal. You won't have
Right.
to do much. You won't. Some people just write, or type whatever it may be, and just keep that journal, and then all of a sudden they got about 100 pages. And they say, "Oh, it's just some little thing. It's just some little thing," but it's a big thing. It's a story, and it's a bunch of stories all put together. It can end up
Right.
being a chapter one, two, three. It goes on and on. But
hmm
um,
Well,
keep.
that means a lot because I've been contemplating about writing a book, but I wasn't sure because I'm like, well, my story is just my story. Like, I think I downplay it because I definitely don't want to come across as like I'm boasting or anything like that because I'm not. I just want to share my experience to let people know that they're not alone. Like nobody's alone, even though it feels like that sometimes. Um, Nobody's alone, regardless. Like
Just
nobody's alone.
yeah, just think of it like this. All right, so I write this story. What am I gonna? Let me see. Uh, no, I don't tell my kids everything, but maybe if I just put it in a book form,
Mhm.
they will have it. They will know the story. They would read it. Even even cousins like me, I might say, hey, what, I already love Melinda, so let me hear. I want to hear some more about her, and it's just you get to pass it down, and even with all my books, they're here, and I'm not They say this is I always use this. What's the one thing that a pizza delivery guy can provide, um, other than an author? And what a pizza delivery guy can deliver is he can deliver a meal to his family every day. An
Mhm.
author, your royalty checks, they're kind of they're either there or they're not there. You got to sell a book to buy a pizza. Pizza delivery guy, guess what? He can come home, he got the pizza, throw it on the table. Guess what? He can feed a family of four just for bringing that pizza home.
So
Author,
true.
it's a little bit different, and but I write for the pleasure. I write for the pleasure. It's my hobby. I write every day, um, and that's what keeps me cool. It gives me, as I say, this tempo sensation. I can just let it go and
Mhm.
and write about it. Um, so that atmosphere, I can hear the birds. You know how pleasant that is. You
Yeah.
know, and so do you have a rocking chair back there so you can rest yourself and the baby? What do you do to keep
Um,
relaxed?
so I meditate. I went to school at Kind Yoga School up in Cape Cod. Um, a wonderful school. Um, I went there and well, I did it virtually because I'm still in Charlotte, but I did it virtually. So I got my certificate in meditation and mindfulness, and I'm heavy into that. Um,
Wow.
that is, if you ever get 5 minutes, that's all what it is, just 5 minutes and sit and be with yourself. It helps tremendously with anxiety. It helps with sleep issues. It helps with regrounding yourself. Like if you feel yourself all over the place. Um, so I'm really big into that. Um,
Yeah.
I've been doing it with my boys. I do it with my husband. I do it with my mother-in-law. Like I do it anytime somebody's like, "Hey, I'm just so frustrated." I'm like, "Okay,
Hmm.
come here." Um,
Good.
so I just I like to say that I'm like a modern day hippie.
Hmm. Yeah.
um, because I love being outside. I love the birds. I love nature. Um, and I just want to be kind to everybody. I
That's
feel like
good.
the world needs more kindness than anything else, especially now. Um,
Awesome.
so I just want to love people.
That's We had a few probably about a month ago, maybe. We had a guest on the podcast, and her name was Ayana Parent, and she's from the Cape, and she talks about meditation, and she wrote a book and doing yoga, and and it's so weird
That's
because
fantastic.
yeah, it'd be that Cape Cod. There's a lot of people into wellness out there, and that's
Hmm.
so super. And it's kind of me. It's the perfect atmosphere up there because you know how it was on Peanut Hill, man. You could just go back there and just veg out, and just
Yeah.
look. So
What's sad is I've only got to go there twice. I gotta go more as an adult now. Because of family drama, I wasn't allowed to go to Peanut Hill very often. So when I did get a chance to go, it was like me going to Disney World. Um, so definitely, it's something that I want to bring my children um, to introduce them to more of the peanut side of the family, and then for me to reconnect because
mm,
unfortunately, um, That's why I don't like the drama stuff. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
because so many kids miss out, and I feel like I missed out on great relationships, childhood relationships. But I'm looking forward to reconnecting as an adult and have those amazing adult relationships.
Yeah.
So,
Don't. It's happened to a lot of us. Don't. I
hmm
my reconnection came later. And so that's just like I said. You look into your family tree and people going through the same experiences you've been through, and just
hmm
exactly what you're saying. You know, we've been there. We've been there. And so my reconnection has been awesome for me. Awesome for
hmm
me because and I like it when David will say, you know what, you are a Pina, you are a Pina as we talk, and I laugh and I say, you know what, I'm proud of that, and
yes,
and
so
then when I
proud of
sit with
that.
Paul, Paul makes it known that oh yeah, Perry, yeah, Perry. I said, you know what? I said, I'm of age, I think I'm gonna go change my name, and I'm gonna exactly change my name, and it's gonna be Charlie Pina. I said, and then and I said, oh, that's your grandfather, and we go back and forth, and it's my great grandfather. So you know, it's just face it, my name. I'm named after between. I say I'm the fourth Charlie.
hmm
It's the great grandfather's Charlie, my father's Charlie, our cousin Charlie Pina. So I'm the fourth one.
Yeah,
But
you are.
it's it.
That's so
Say
cool, though.
yeah, it's a old fashioned name, and I don't mind it. I love it.
That's awesome.
So let's
I love
see.
it.
We got about 10 minutes. What do you want to talk about? It could be anything. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this.
I would like to say, I really hope that whoever watches this podcast, um, the one thing that I want people to take away from this is not the sad moments, but the way to bounce back, and to keep moving forward. Don't let things, and it's easy to allow some things to kind of stop you in your tracks, but moving forward is is super important, because um, it's not about the the quantity of life, it's a quality of life.
So true.
And the more that you grasp that concept, um, whether somebody lives for, I don't know, 6 days or 106 years, it's it's the quality. Um, that's an important thing. And
So
whatever you do, whatever you do, just know it's quality. Is that your best quality of work? Um, when you see somebody, tell them how much that you love them, or that they mean to you, or hey, I was thinking of you today. Doesn't have to be anything significant, but you
mhm.
don't know, you really don't know what somebody may be going through. So just by saying those kind words definitely could change somebody's day. It could change their life. It could change their week, um, into a better, better day.
Exactly. Exactly. What's that? Tell your dog.
No, that's my son. He's riding his scooter. He came
Oh,
out.
he's.
They must have just finished dinner or something,
I just
or
I
a
just heard
movie.
that. I just heard that. I just heard a noise. But um.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
we get
he's
we
he's fun.
yeah, good. Are they playing sports? What are they doing? They're like
So Miguel, he's 13. He'll be 14 in June. He's interested in baseball, and our little one wants to do soccer. He's 6.
good.
Um, so yeah, They're very active. Active, rambunctious, typical boys
That's it.
that, they love education, they love playing. So,
Yeah, keep them well rounded. Not so fixated with the electronics. Give them something to
yeah.
be in and out of the house. That's very important. But
Hmm.
I don't have to tell you. You know. And
Yeah. That's important, though. It's always
it
important
is.
to hear that again, too, though, because we forget sometimes.
Yeah, it's
It's easy to
go
forget.
outside. Yeah. The best thing I like about when I grew up is that we had to create things. We had to do a lot of things.
Like
But
cops and
I,
robbers with sticks.
yeah, yeah, cops and robbers, kick the can. It's hide and seek, which is a lot of people do that. Still, I mean, some kids I see them doing it. Um, kickball. You just created things. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I like to be brought up in that same era, same
Hmm.
time, experience the same type things over and over again because it was good. And uh, I love it. I love it. The So you keep them going. Uh, Definitely got to keep me updated with the
Of
family.
course. Of course.
You
Definitely.
know, the,
Now that I
we could
have
do.
more free time and I'm not so busy, active duty.
Yeah, and you got some clout now because now you can say, "Hey, hey, cuz I want to go on a really Charlie podcast." And you got to come on and be a star. The
Of
only thing
course.
you didn't, the only thing you didn't do tonight is you didn't say, "Really, Charlie." I need my guests to do that. You got to say, like, "Really,
Really,
Charlie."
Charlie?
Yeah. See, perfect. So we we definitely want to get you back on here, and talk about things, whatever it may be. It might
Of
be about
course.
your you know meditation. It might be about that. We could, whatever you wish.
Okay.
You just send me a message, text message, direct message, whatever you have to. You say, hey, I got something I want to talk about, and then we'll put you on.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. That's so comforting to hear. Um,
Thank you.
it's just it's very comforting, and I really, really, really appreciate that. Um, because we are in a time where comfort is super important right now. And
Hmm.
me, as growing up, like I said, I was in and out the family, um, due to issues that are far greater than me.
Hmm.
Um, so from hearing you say that, that means a lot. That helps me feel like, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time.
Yeah, I'm ready for you. We're ready for you. And so I got one last question.
What's that?
Who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Oh, you know what? Let me see. Okay, I got so many people, but I really would love to see PJ.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't know if they'll. I know I love his baseball stories. So
right.
um,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
yes,
I'm gonna I'm gonna have to talk to him. He
yes.
bought a house. He's doing well.
Mhm, mhm.
I I knew that was gonna happen. He was gonna go down south, and you know what? Someone was gonna put that magic on him, and things were
Of
gonna,
course.
And look, company travels
Mhm.
down there with the company. Some
Yep.
woman sweeps him off his feet, and his smile was like sunshine
It
already.
was,
But
yeah. It was just even
there's
bigger.
there's an extra glow in that PJ smile, right?
It is. It is. I just
So
love. I love PJ. Like I love his. I just love being around him. He doesn't even have to
Hmm.
say anything. I'm like, oh man, that's my cousin. Like, how cool is
Hmm.
that?
Yeah.
Um, I love that. You already had Danielle on there, so
Hmm.
that was so cool too. I love her.
I
Um,
had Danielle, Paula. I had Paula
mhm,
on here. So
mhm.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that.
I love that.
Hmm. And let's see. So I'm gonna work on that. In fact, as soon as tonight, I'll send PJ a message and see if he wants to talk about baseball, Peloton, whatever he wants to talk about. We're definitely gonna get him on it just for you. All right.
Yes, yes, I
All
love it.
right.
Yes, I love it. And I love you. Don't forget that.
I love you
Don't
too.
forget
I
that.
love you too. You you know, just God bless you and the family.
Oh, thank you. Same to you.
Um, always. In fact, I'll send you my number too, so you can
Yes,
message me
do
if you
that.
have to, or call me. All
Do
right. So
that.
that way, all right. So everything won't have to be social media and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'll do that. Uh, within the hour, I'll send it to you. And now
Okay.
you're gonna be on Anchor, Spotify, Facebook,
Yes,
YouTube.
I love
You're gonna
it.
be all over the place.
I love
So
it. I love it.
you can
I
listen
love
to
it.
yourself later on with your earbuds. You can just listen to yourself later on
Yes,
because as soon as we're done, I'll download it to those platforms and you'll be able to listen to it. All right.
yes. Thank you
God.
so much for inviting me and having me on here.
All right.
You have healed some serious, um, a little open wounds that I still had. And, just by your kind words and me being able to share my story, it's some inspirational stuff. It's, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how awesome it is.
Well, it was awesome talking to you, and we're not done yet. So you keep.
No, we're not.
Yeah. All right, Melinda. Love you.
All right. Love you
You know,
best.
stay blessed, and if you need me, I'm just a phone call away.
I sure will.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Super. Melinda Guitierrez. That Marine is awesome, isn't she? Wasn't that a great story? That was just. I mean, you just. She's a Marine. She gets cancer. She battles through that. She does all the things that she, had to just to survive. Survive life, survive love, survive loss. That story was unbelievable, and it's personal to me. I'm involved in it. I'm listening, and I get, you kind of get caught up in that great story. And she got teary eyed. I got teary eyed. I'm trying to fight back that sincerity, that emotion that was in her. You just feel for someone. But look, she's young, she's vibrant. She does the meditation. She definitely got a family that she's raising, one on the way. It's just that's what the Really Charlie podcast is about. I'm trying to do a little bit different than the others. Just trying to do those educational, inspirational stories so we can hear them, and they can help you all. My constant friends that are always here to listen and support. I really, really appreciate you. And praises to God putting me in this place to just do this, you know, on a weekly basis. It's great. So this week, Friday, we have Adam Pina, professional, trainer in boxing. Definitely civic minded person. He's been through a lot in his life. He'll be on Friday, 7 p.m. on this Really Charlie podcast. You're not going to want to miss this story. his life, his experiences. It's definitely something you need to hear. Um, and then we go back to, I mean, we end up going the following day on Saturday, and we got Jenny Jordan, um, very inspiring young lady, and she's been through a lot too. So, and she does something on Facebook Live. It's called Soul Sessions, and it's deep stuff. Those people just kind of digging in their soul and talking to her, and she's relating to them, and she's talking with their experiences. So Friday and Saturday is definitely going to be good things on the Really Charlie podcast. So please tune in, and when you do tune in, share this live feed. So we can get more comments, more interaction with people. Going back and forth. As long as people are commenting, as long as people are doing their thing on the Really Charlie podcast, we will stay on the air. And that's very, very important to keep positive things on the air. In conclusion, mask those beautiful faces, hand sanitize your hands, wash your hands, and stay blessed, be blessed. Love y'all. It's just great. This was a great story, and it definitely got me fired up. I'm loving it. Good night, y'all.